Hi, everybody, and welcome. Let's switch over. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. As you guys can see, it is back to school time. As we've seen by photos all week, all on Monday, we want to share with you. So share your photos in this group. Let us know how your first day of school went, how your first week is going, because it's Wednesday. And so that means your kiddos are on their third day of school. 3 whole days.
Wow, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
and that's a big
deal. Those back to school pictures.
Yes, we want to see them. So make sure come with those. It's always fun to see. We love connecting with our community here. So we wanted to come on with some great tips on how to help you and your kids succeed, right? Because there's a lot going on right now for everybody.
Yeah.
I know you parents, there's there's getting the kids out the door in the morning. There's all sorts of feelings wrapped up with your kids getting older and seeing them grow up. So let's also be mindful that you guys have some serious stuff that you're processing too. Yeah. So be kind to yourself.
Right.
But and homeschool parents, y'all have a whole nother set of challenges, right? You get a whole new set of topics to learn about to teach your kiddos.
Right? Can't even imagine. You guys are heroes, honestly.
Yes, I know plenty of you out there are homeschool parents, so props to you. That's a lot of work, right? Okay. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is focus, right? So focus is a huge thing for everybody. All year round, it's an issue, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially as you begin the first year, back at school, right? Your kids are with new teachers, new topics, all of that. And so that's an important thing to be mindful of so that you can be proactive about it to foster a positive learning environment. Because your kids don't really understand oils half the time or the things they need to do, right? As my coach always says, it's the chocolate versus the broccoli. Right? So you know what they need, but they just want chocolate. So it's a matter of addressing it in a way that's going to make it a positive interaction, right? The last thing you want to do is chase your kids down with oils, because then they're going to be like, this is some weird stuff, I don't like it, and then push you away every time you bring it around. And the same goes for the supplements, the skincare, especially if you got teenagers, right? Making sure that you're being mindful, right? Like having problem skin as a teenager is a huge deal. Right? Yeah. That can absolutely change how your interactions are with the rest of your classmates.
Right. Yeah.
Because kids are mean.
100%.
So being mindful of these things so you can be proactive. So when it comes to focus, some of the top oils to use are going to be like vetiver, thinker, intune, right? So what I love about thinker is that it has some vetiver in it. It has some spearmint in it. It has some rosemary and some wild orange, right? And it's diluted and it's safe to use on basically like anybody's skin because it's part of the kids blend. But I'm not gonna lie, I have that in my car.
I keep it here because there are times, it's really helpful when you have so much anxiety that you can't think of like the next thing to do, right? And sometimes our kiddos, we have a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot going on right now in the world, and sitting down and focusing is a challenge. Let's face it, for all of us. So I keep it right by my desk. I love it. I love Thinker.
I've got a special blend here. Love it. My Thinker, because I like adding a little bit more vetiver to mine, because I need the extra grounding. And I'm actually tootling around with adding a little balance into it, but I got to see how the aroma works out because that's a lot of different flavors.
I've been thinking about clary sage, maybe adding like a drop of clary sage or something.
Ooh, that
It's
would be
just
interesting.
for clarity of
Yeah.
thought. You think,
Yeah.
ooh, that would blend well. I don't know. I'll do it. I'll let you know.
So focus, right? And so that's one of those things you can actually have a diffuser going when your kids get home, or you can grab a bubble diffuser. Now, fun fact, actually, so we know the bubble diffuser is like impossible to get, but I have a friend who works over at Green Air Diffusers, and she has been making what looks like it's going to be pretty rad. So it's going to be the airburst, and so it's going to be working just the same as the bubble, except instead of it just being a little disc, it's like going to look like a large egg.
Oh, okay.
So the bottle will be covered, so it'll be good. This one, it works the same way. You plug it in, it's rechargeable. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll put a post up about that with the product information later on today. And if you want to get that, I'm going to be putting an order in because I didn't get enough bubble diffusers. And I mean, really, you guys, think about it. If you just have this available so that, oh, mine's dead now. It's been on for 3 months. But if you have one of these by the front door, in the bathroom, where the like if you have one where the kids doing their homework
Mm-hmm.
and you make like a little 5 ml of thinker, right? Like how nice would that be for them?
Right.
So it's just as soon as they sit down, they get a little puff. It's not overwhelming. It's just a nice little bit to help them focus. Or even
There's
in tune.
also the Pilot too.
Yes.
And I have that going right now. And so for your teenagers, for your older kids, they can plug it right into their laptop while they're doing homework, and they can put in a couple of drops of, whatever is good for their and meets their needs. I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like my little Pilot.
That just requires them to remember to fill it with water, put oils in it, and turn it on.
Right. So it's good for older kids. It's good for teenagers. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So some of the other things we want to talk about, right? Like, so beyond just focus, we have that kids collection, right? And that helps with everything. There's calmer for your kids who are stressed and anxious and overwhelmed, right? And steady, like straight up, I use steady on a regular basis.
Yeah. It's
right?
pretty
I love balance, but steady is nice. It's light. It just glides right on. It's super cheap. Like, let's be real. We're living in a recession, folks, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to be mindful. So, like, finding solutions that are going to work for you and work for your wallet, super important. So that is a great one.
Oh, and Stronger is really good to help with immune support. I use that one a lot because it does smell like rose
Because
and kind of like a
it's
citrus.
lovely.
And who doesn't want to smell like that? I love On Guard, don't get me wrong, but when I'm putting something on like to leave the house, I don't really necessarily want to smell like clove and cinnamon. Right?
I mean, in about a month I will.
Right. Absolutely.
And don't forget Tamer, right? A lot of people are not fans of digestion, even adults. Tamer works super great, right? And honestly, it smells really nice. Like, I haven't had one child say they didn't like it. Even my doggos like it. Although
So
we end up using
like a
digestion
nervous
anyway.
stomach. If your kids are anxious and they get like a nervous stomach in the morning, applying that is really nice. Or if they get like a little bit car sick and they got to take the school bus, that can help. That can help too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget, so there's calmer, there's steady, and there's brave, right? So like when the kids are worried, like you can give them some braves to encourage them, which is going to be super handy. So one of the things, as always, remember to dilute your oils for the kiddos and be mindful of citrus. So thankfully, the kids collection is already diluted. Even though it has some citrus oils, it's less of a concern because of the dilution ratio. But just, you don't want to douse your kid in it and send them out to play soccer, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is definitely one. So Heather, what other thoughts do you have on back to school?
Oh, on back to school? Well, don't forget also about the On Guard products like the wipes, the hand sanitizers. For some of the older kids, these yummy drops can really help with the immune support. as well. Um, yeah. And just, also a bedtime routine is really important. So putting a couple drops of Serenity in the diffuser at night to relieve any stress or anxiety and help them sleep. That's really key as well. Especially right now, kids have new teachers, they have new experiences. They've been in online learning for the last 2 years, some of them. So it's all a little overwhelming for parents and for kids. So don't forget about yourself either. Like put some serenity in there for you too.
Seriously, so I have just now gotten back onto a healthy sleep hygiene with my husband Eric, right? I had been staying up late and just, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Mm-hmm.
So last night was the first night we're like, all right, it's 9 o'clock. We got to go to bed. Because by going to bed at 9 o'clock means we're in bed around 10. Because we got to brush our teeth and wash our face and then
Right.
make sure, like, if there's laundry around the room, like, I'm going to
Right.
have to, like,
Yeah.
tidy up. And then got to take my bedtime supplements, turn on the diffuser, get in bed. And like we all do, tootle on your phone in bed. Um, so making sure that you plan for that. And one of the things I'm working on is being on my phone less in bed and in
Oh
my
yeah.
bedroom in general. So I found that my speaker has an alarm on it. I have a Sonos speaker. So I'm able to preset the wake up alarm, but I was also able to set a 9 p.m. alarm for 2 hours to play brown noise. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So I will literally just have to come into the bedroom, turn on my sleep timer, and put my phone down.
Nice. Yeah.
Pretty exciting,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal because, that blue light that you get from the phone is really problematic.
It is.
And that like quick hits of dopamine of like, oh, just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Right.
So like that's really important to be mindful of. Especially I know we got our kids going back to school, they're on devices all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it does have an effect. So just be mindful. And I actually probably if I can snag some time with her, we'll be getting a friend of mine who's a child psychologist. We'll be talking about the effects
Mm-hmm.
of devices with your kiddos.
Nice. Great.
Um, and this is important, right? Like your bedtime routine. Is that about? Are you preparing for the day tomorrow? Did you pick out your? Did you and your kids pick out your outfits for the next day? Do you
Right.
know what's going on in the day? Did you talk to them about what class they have, what homework they have, right? Like your kids don't have these skill sets, right? They're children, and you're an adult. So,
Right.
as an adult who didn't really learn these much as a kid, let me just reiterate that you have to teach them how to do these things, right? Um, as much as the teachers are teaching them in the school, you're teaching them at home. So it's all these little things. Like if they see mom and dad value going to bed on time and that there's a reason for it, then they're more apt to do that themselves.
Right.
Albeit know that you'll always have to argue with them on that one because their bodies do have different needs. But they
Right.
do need all the sleep because they are growing. And that's especially when they're having growth spurts, the more sleep they have, they're, in an ideal world, they're actually doing their growing while they're sleeping. So they're not in pain all day. So ensuring that they get enough sleep allows that to happen while they're asleep versus being in pain throughout the day.
Right. And there is a rest. Is it called restful for kids? It's kind of like the Serenity.
Um,
Uh, anyway, it can
I think
help.
it's calmer.
Is it calmer? I thought. Is it calmer? I put my book down. I shouldn't
You
have done
threw
that.
me up. Yeah, it's calmer.
Is it calmer? Okay.
It's calmer, but I also like it for it's rescuer you're thinking of for a respiratory instead of breathe. Um, so yeah,
I
so
was
it
thinking of
takes
like
your
the nighttime routine.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, honestly, allergies are pretty bad. So using some rescuer and calmer before bed, why not? And if your kid's anxious, then why not throw some steady on there? And the kids collection, you guys, they all come with carabiners, comes with cool flashcards. And it's really important, like empowering your kid to be in charge, to be able to fix their own problems when so much of their life is not in their control,
It's
if you can
huge.
teach them to
Yeah.
be in control of something, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
A minute ago, Heather, you were bringing up the On Guard family of products, so I wanted to make sure we touch on that. So we have a new product, the On Guard tablets, right,
Oh,
folks?
great.
Those are huge. So if you have not tried those, the On Guard tablets, pull up the
It's got
tablet.
a little vitamin C. It's got some zinc.
Yeah, so it's got beta glucan to help support and maintain a healthy immune system, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and On Guard. It's vegan friendly and free from gluten, sugar, and artificial sweeteners, and it's convenient to use anytime, anywhere, right? So you can chew up to like the directions for use are chewing 3 tablets per day is needed for immune function. So this is a great thing. Honestly, it's also going to freshen their breath. So have them take one before they go to school. Have them take one when they come home,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And they can have one with them if they want to have like a breath freshener throughout the day. Like it's just that easy, folks, and they're tasty.
They are really tasty. Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So and with On Guard, there's so much that there is now with the On Guard family of products, from the touch, the mist, you got the hand soap. Honestly, back to school, I'd be if your kids are old enough for whether they're smaller and you want to do beadlets or they're old enough and you want to do the On Guard soft gels, first week back at school, when you come back from holiday breaks, I would definitely be considering getting your kids on some more immune support because I know every year come back and we're going to have a lot more issues. But if you are preparing your kids' immune system for experiencing all these things, right? Like, again, that statement, oils do not cure, treat, diagnose diseases, blah, 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 blah. But they can help support your body's function so that you can deal with outside influences, right?
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about being proactive. If you were just waiting for things to happen and then taking action, that's not really the way, right?
Right.
Oils are going to be helpful. Supplements are going to be helpful after the fact, but they're way more effective if you're able to knock it out beforehand.
Right. It's kind of like
support your body beforehand.
If you're climbing a mountain, right? Do you want somebody to drop you off at the base of the mountain, or do you want somebody to drop you halfway up the mountain? Like,
exactly.
How far do you have to go to get to the top, right? So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but that's kind of how I think about it. Like, these support your immune system to kind of get you at least like halfway there. Like, it's not going to cure anything for sure, but it's definitely going to be supportive.
And your body is meant to take care of itself. So it's just giving it extra tools to handle it. So with that said, we ran a little bit long today, but I think we had a really great time. So when you guys catch the replay, definitely share with us your kiddos' pictures. We love seeing your kids grow. And also, if you have a favorite wellness solution for your kiddos, let us know in the comments. See you next time.
Bye, guys.